How's it going, folks? Welcome to the Jeza podcast, Riffing with Jeza podcast, episode number 3. So it's been quite a while since I've done one of these. I've since moved from Canada to Costa Rica. Wasn't part of my plan at all, but things stopped flowing almost immediately, and so I went back to my original plan of living in Costa Rica. And so that's my plan until I get a vibe to leave. Being a musician, I've got Nashville on my targets, amongst a couple other things, but we'll see what happens. USA is in a slight social decline and a little bit chaotic these days. So there's going to be a question mark over, I'll have to see, I have to sort of feel into what's right, and it could be a balance between, it'll basically be my heart, I'll just listen to that, but sometimes the heart brings in discernment, around, okay, are things getting a little bit unstable in America or whatever. Anyway, so I have absolutely zero idea what I'm going to talk about today. So absolutely nothing is on my mind. So I'm just working on a beautiful song at the moment. It's interesting how a beautiful melody can just really transport me to a place of beauty. And so there's absolutely just so beautiful, sweet melody has popped into my mind, and I've played it today, and it's amazing how just the magic of music takes me to another level of how I feel. Like it kind of has this effect of just sort of neutralizing and taking the charge out of negative emotions. So the feeling in this song is it's completely one of beauty and grace. And and so I bashed out a couple of takes, and this is my third take, and it's just basically, when I say a take, it's just I improvised. So I did 3 takes of improvising, and this third one isn't perfect, but it's got an essence of beauty in it. And that's kind of what I look for, an essence of beauty. So sometimes, I like to have things pretty professional sounding, like a professional musician. So there's a certain standard I have in my mind, but the beauty and essence of the song is the song. This is what attracts people. And the purpose of music is to put people into their hearts. And it's interesting, years ago, I didn't realise how powerful music is. Even though I loved it myself, I just thought, okay, that's something I love, something I'm good at. But I didn't realise that music actually opens doors in people's hearts. Because when people aren't in their hearts, when they're in their minds, in general, they're destructive. Because unless the mind is a servant of the heart, the mind becomes destructive, neurotic, destructive, fearful, emotional. And people think the heart's emotional, but that's really the mind. That's the mind body that's emotional. The thoughts is different to the heart, which is really the state of peace and centeredness and clarity and divine guidance. That's how I see it anyway. And so if something can still someone's mind and still someone's emotional body to connect with that, then that can transform their whole life. Because when you're in that place, you get a deeper level of guidance and surrender and clarity that shows you what to do in every situation. and it shows you what to do in a way so much more powerful than the mind can say. So, and anyway, it's just interesting because this sort of music's been a great healer for me. It's soothed my agitated body at times, well, many times, soothed trauma, and then brought a quiet joy to my heart. And so that's what it did today. Like, it's sort of, in my life, things are a little bit unrestful at the moment. There's a few worries plucking around in my mind. But when I tap into something with so much grace present, I feel like it just takes me to another level. Like it fills me with joy, and then my worries that I'm on the wrong track in life, or concern that everything's fucked up and what am I doing, kind of, those kind of thoughts, which are not that helpful, but that's what happens when your mind is running the show. When your mind is just running the show, it's like the inmates running the asylum. It's a really bad idea. So, but when your heart has a stillness and clarity and awareness, then the mind can shut up and be a servant to that. And so that's kind of what it does for me. Like it cuts through all that, puts me in a state of grace, and then life makes sense again. So Plato said music brings a charm to sadness and life to everything. He said a couple other things, but I can't remember them now. But essentially it's a great healer. So I guess that's why I naturally became a music therapist, or someone who did healing with music. So anyway, that feels about right today. So I didn't expect to even say that. So yeah, so I guess today's little kind of take-home message is kind of like letting music be your solace, be your guide, show you things, show you peace, show you clarity, show you how you're feeling, and let buried emotions evaporate and leave, and made okay and not made wrong, and creating stillness and love and connection, purpose, clarity and stillness. So that's what I'm thinking. So that's a pretty short one today. You can hear some birds in the background. Costa Rica brims with life. Absolutely brims with life. Like the butterflies, the birds, howler monkeys, everything. So at the moment it's about 26 degrees. It's pretty fucking humid, but I'm a couple thousand feet above sea level, so it's a bit cooler here than the beach. But yeah, I don't know how long I'll be here for. Lately it's become really apparent to me I need to have, more than anything, I need my purpose and my focus, which is really based around music and healing stuff. And that's more important than whatever the fuck the world is doing. You know, with whatever shenanigans and bullshit that's going on in the world. So keeping track of your own focus, and then funnily that stuff can move into the background a bit more. But anyway, I'm being directed to come back to this song, so it's sort of, I think that's all there is today. That it's really just the simplicity of letting music move through you. So if you feel like doing that, and if you do that, then I'd love to hear your experiences. So yeah, comment on your experiences, let me know. I'm really interested. I'm not just saying that for some bullshit algorithm. So yeah, so I think that's it. So funnily enough, I came up, something popped into my mind today, which is kind of fun, kind of cool. And so when I opened this podcast, I had absolutely nothing, and I didn't actually feel very inspired. So that little download has made me feel better. So hopefully it did the same for you. So ciao, until our next time. Riffing with Jeza.